Hey team, Mark Zees here, Bible Land Explorer. I trust all is well with you in the place where you are. The place where I am is the AlUla oasis. It's an oasis, a green place in the midst of a very stony and rocky desert in northwestern Saudi Arabia. And here in the desert, it's dark. The sun has gone down. The moon has come up. Look, it's right up there. Along with the stars, and the sandstone cliffs that are above our campsite reach high into the sky and cause us to think, about all kinds of things. Like, for example, the book of Job. The book of Job is found in the text of the Old Testament among the poetic books, and it begins in a curious way. There once was a man named Job who lived in the land of Uz. I'm almost tempted to begin translating that first line from the book. Once upon a time there was a man by the name of Job who lived in the land of the counselors. The book is full of all kinds of counselors, you know. And yet, if we begin once upon a time, we somehow yank the historical mat out from underneath it, and there are other pieces of evidence in the book that suggest that this might not be the best thing to do. For example, we read that Job was the greatest of all the men of the East. And I know you're thinking, well, the East of where? East of what? Well, east of the heartland, perhaps. We also read in the book that there was one of the counselors, the would-be counselors, by the name of Eliphaz, who was from Teman, which actually happens to be the next oasis over, right here in North Arabia. And then you have other clues, like the fact that the raiders who steal Job's stuff are from the land of the Chaldeans and from the Sabaeans, both people groups ranged in these mountains here historically. And then consider some of the evidence that's found outside the book of Job. Like, for example, in Jeremiah chapter 25, we read about the kings of Uz, who influenced in some way the areas of Philistia and Ammon and Moab. And then, in addition to that, you've got another mention of the place called Uz in the book of Lamentations. There, too, it appears. And so there's just enough stirring the water that makes me think twice about casting this whole thing as pure fiction. Yeah, it's an interesting book. And to top it all off, you've got rabbis who are saying from the get-go that Job is a translated book. It wasn't originally written in Hebrew. What it was written in, we don't know, but it was translated from some other tongue into Hebrew and then into the English that we use today. Maybe it came from this part of the world. Or maybe Moses picked it up as he tramped about these Midianite mountains himself at a stage in his life. I don't know. So many questions. There's just something about the desert air. We'll talk to you later. Take care.